If you're trying to do this on a budget, I do not suggest getting this composition board. This is that comp decking, 16-foot pieces, and I'm going to use this to cap mine because when you sit on, I don't want to use any pressure treated lumber, I don't want to use any rough sawn lumber, so it'll give a little bit of a cap to sit on that should be comfortable. These are about $26, $7 a piece, so I got some money invested in that. 5 foot by 100 foot, 2 inch by 4 inch wire mesh for the outside of the fencing, and I had to get a 50-foot roll also. $100 and about $50. So it's kind of expensive. I got another jug of Roundup, the super concentrate, and that stuff's really expensive. It makes 42 gallons, but I just got this and it was $75. You know, it's a pricey undertaking. You can make it as cheap or as expensive as you need to or want to or can afford. You know, there's always a way to do it. And if you're concerned about aesthetics and, you know, comfortability and that kind of thing, then you're going to spend a little more money. So I'm hoping this will be here for many, many years to come, and so I'm spending a little extra on it. Well, one of the first things I'm going to do is take a nice long blade and make a nice cut across the top of these stakes so they're flush and I can fit my my composite boards onto. Hey, a volunteer. Onward and sideways. Yay, my drip hose is finally here. Cool. I got 100 foot. I didn't need that much, but there wasn't much I could do. So I'm just letting it sit out and get naturally straight. It was all coiled up in a little box, so back to other projects. Well, if it's not one thing, it's another. My drill motor gacked out, so I have to repair that, and then I'll get back to work. So when is ever any project simple? I mean, really? Come on, this is ridiculous. But gotta do it. Need a drill. The last time I rebuilt this drill motor cord, I was out on a job site and I had to really hack it together. So this time it's fixed right, I guess. It's all soldered up and works now. Using a countersink bit, it requires constant cleaning because I'm using this stuff's made of plastic. And so I'm pre-drilling with a countersink, and then I'm setting the screws in and coming along and cinching them down. What I've done actually is I've measured in a foot, and so each screw is at a foot, hence square foot gardening. I can just put a straight edge across it and see exactly where my 1 foot marks are. The cap is done. I just want to make sure my girl, when she's sitting on it gardening, she doesn't get any splinters in her butt. So I spent the money, and it's really, really, really strong. I used long screws and a lot of them, and it won't rot. It'll protect the wood underneath it a little. I rounded the corners so you don't take out a shin on the corners. And I cut out a little hooset there for the hose to go through, the PVC to go through. That's about it. I didn't realize this was going to turn into a gardening day instead of a fencing day, but I guess I'll put in my raised bed soaker hoses specially designed for rain barrels and turn them on full blast and see how much water I use. Okay, I have the soaker hose laying on top. I've staked it in and I've marked the tank level. So I'll start a timer and then I'll open this guy up and see how long it takes, see how much water I use in like an hour. And if it's quite a bit, then what I'll do is I'll put a timer on this thing. Oh yeah, that's going to use quite a bit of water. That is definitely going to need a timer. I can see it already. Man, oh man. Alright, what I've discovered about the soaker hose for the rain barrels from Home Depot is at the beginning it's really soaking. But if you link two of them together, it barely makes it to the end, which is here. So it's very slow. So I'll have one side that's really saturated and the other side that's going to take a lot longer. It's only been running for a matter of minutes, and I can already see I've lost about an inch of water in my tank. I don't know what that equates to, but it's about 4 feet, about 48 inches divided by, so about 25 gallons already. If my quick math is right. 275 gallons. Anyway, I guess I'll work it out later, but I'm gonna have to get a splitter and unjoin these hoses and run off of a 2 outlet and run 2 runs of it, and that should equalize it a little better. Okay, I've cut all my posts. What I did was measured up from the ground. Usually I shoot things with a laser, but because I'm locked into a certain size on the 5-foot wire mesh, I've just measured up from the ground in the 4 corners and run a string line and marked everything in between. So some of them are a little shorter than others. I'm about 4 inches low on that side, lower on the post than I am over on this side, but it is what it is. I can't get a metal fence stretcher, so some of it's going to be long, some of it's going to be short. I just hate to have to dig up all this dirt to put the bottom of the fence in. You put the bottom of the fence in and then you bend it out, because critters, when they come up to a fence, they'll start to dig underneath it, and if they hit wire, because it's buried back this way, if they hit wire, they don't know they have to back up 6 or 8 inches or a foot. They just know that it's impenetrable. So that's the trick for garden fencing. I went and picked up a Y splitter to split up the hoses, and I wanted to take this opportunity to welcome my friend John Rickwald to YouTube. He's finally started a channel, so you know, he has, I think, 2 subscribers now. There's nothing on his channel but a small welcome video, but I'm gonna put a link up top here, so click on it and you know, maybe subscribe. I'm sure his videos are gonna be much better than mine when he gets the hang of this. So check it out. Thanks. Off to work now. Into the hangar to get some plumbing supplies, and I came out with plumbing supplies and peat pods that I found from years gone by that I haven't done anything with. So I got these really cool little trays. They're optometrist trays at an auction, dirt cheap. I've got boxes of these things, so this looks like a good place to use them. And I even have green, and they're numbered. Alright, we'll get back to work now. Alright, it was kind of a challenge to get all this to fit in here, but I serpentined this to cover all that area. I don't know if it's enough, and it's probably going to consume a lot of water. I have a timer, so I've got that valve turned on. I've marked it with tape, and so now let's just turn this guy on. Okay, that's already on, and turn the timer to on. Here she comes. It's been 10 minutes and my water consumption is down compared to running it all as one hose. It's 11/16 in 10 minutes. Yesterday it was about 1 inch and 3/16 in 10 minutes. And I've got much better distribution of the water. It's spreading it out better. I just don't know if it's enough water. I don't know if 10 minutes is enough. It sure doesn't look like it. But maybe what I'll have to do is get the bed saturated with the hose, with the regular spray nozzle, and then plant and put the timer on for 10 minutes. I don't know how much rain I'm expected to get, so I don't want to, and as the tank level goes down, the pressure decreases, so it'll be less efficient as the water goes down. So I'll saturate it, plant it, and then probably cover the whole top with straw to help retain the moisture. That's what I'm gonna do, and then I'm back on the gate and fence and all that stuff. Okay, I'm watering the whole bed down. There's not a lot of water coming out of this, but it's soaking it down pretty good, and I'm, you know, putting a little bit of water on it, but not a terrible amount. But I'm soaking the entire bed so I can plant some seeds and see how that goes. So it's pretty well saturated, and let's take a look down at this side where I've already done it and see how much is soaked in. Yeah, it's pretty saturated. It's pooling on the top a little bit. So let's see what my water consumption was on the tank. It looks like about a little bit more than the soaker hose. It's right about here. Oh, about the same amount as the soaker hose. Maybe the soaker hose isn't the way to go. I have no idea. I'm new to all this, but maybe I can be y'all's beta test site. If you're contemplating doing this, it's a little late now, but maybe next year. So I'm gonna go get some seeds and start planting. Before I plant in the garden, I got offline at mysquarefootgarden.net a compatibility companion color chart. So if you're planting asparagus, you can't plant onions near it, or beets, you can't plant bean poles, etc., etc. So that's a good thing that I'm going to try and follow. And there's also a list of you know, how many of what type of vegetable you can plant in a square foot. Garlic 4 or 9, carrots 16. So, you know, it gives me a guideline of what the hell to plant. I have everything planted now. Hopefully all things are compatible. And when I marked what they are, I also marked how many plants could go in a square foot. Some of this stuff I planted 2 seeds in a hole. Some of it, like the lettuce and spinach and cabbage, the seeds are so small, I just kind of put them in, you know. There may be even 3-4 seeds per hole, and I can weed them out later. And the carrots, I just cleared off a square foot and sprinkled and then covered it. I have 1 million carrots in here, so I can weed those out, or, you know, select which ones I want to keep, if they ever even come up. Alright, back to the fence. I am going to probably end this video here because it's getting really long and I know some people get bored. So we'll see you later. Subscribe, check in on the next one. Probably tomorrow or the next day I'll have the fence video up.